Welcome back. Now, I've said we try to speak the unspeakable, and in this way we want to try to give kind of a how to find fulfillment. So with this being said, it is not kind of a step-by-step process. It's not kind of you need to do this exactly this way and then you will get exactly this result as a kind of promise, because this is not what it is. It's more about a thought experiment. Do you remember this kind of imaginary thought experiment that we've done in Module 4 on the emotions? This is what we will do here right now as well. Kind of imagining this state, what it can be like, because we can all intuit what it's like. And then once we've realized and we live from that state, we can go back and say, yes, this time when I was listening to this course, I was right. I was intuiting those things rightly. So how do we let fulfillment come to us? You see, it's not going after fulfillment, it is letting fulfillment come to us. And this is the first core critical understanding. It's not something that you make happen, it's something that happens in and of itself, and in every happening you actually prevent it to happen. But how do we do it? So every body sensation and every emotion is allowed. It runs its natural path and then it dissipates again. It appears on the screen and then it leaves the screen again. Everything that comes is allowed and can fully be processed within your system. But we first need to take the leap of faith that our life will work out when we allow ourselves to be as we are. And then we find that contentment arises. This is a critical piece to understand. We first need to take the leap of faith to be ourselves, because the only reason why we are not ourselves is because of fear. Because we fear that those things in our life that we value will not work out. That we believe we will either get what we don't want or we don't get what we want. You see, we either get closer to what we want to avoid or we get, something gets in the way to what we actually want by being ourselves. So we fear being ourselves by, for example, then, I will just hang around, or I won't be successful, or then I won't be loved, whatever that is. We are fearful to be ourselves, but to be fulfilled, we really at first need to take this leap of faith to be ourselves, and then contentment arises, because then you actually get to see, I can be myself, I can express myself in the way I feel like, in the way I want to, in a kind way, of course, and it's still okay. My life still works out. It works out even better when I do, but you realize this only after that. So, and then we see that all our body sensations and our emotions, they're not something to make us happy. The real happiness comes from underneath. So in the same way, like in the sense we're independent from our body sensations and our emotions for fulfillment, and in this way we grow to a fully mature adult. You see, when we have accessed the state of fulfillment, we see, and it's very, very visible to you and clearly felt to you, when you see that you don't need anything for fulfillment. Everything that is there actually prevents your fulfillment. You being pulled out of this default state, this is basically what prevents the default state. So we don't need anything for fulfillment. No joy, no body sensations, no pleasure, no nothing to be fulfilled. And in seeing that, all those body sensations and all those emotions, they are far less important, far less serious, because you don't have anything to gain from that, because what you actually want to gain from that, that's what you've already found, you see? And in that we grow into a fully mature adult, not needing anything for your emotional well-being, not needing a certain person to give you something emotional, you don't need life, to occur in a certain set of circumstances that you choose and that you want to, because that gives you fulfillment. It's not that. You have fulfillment already, and in this way you're fully mature as an adult, emotionally independent. And I should say, by the way, this is the only way we can really raise healthy kids, because if we still are invested in our kids and for them giving us approval or making us feel loved or whatever that might be, havoc is created. So in growing into fully mature adults, we can really be good parents and a great medicine to everybody we touch. And with this being said, it can be a year-long process to have this firmly established. I don't want to sound it goes overnight, because most of the time it doesn't. But through this practice, you will drop spontaneously into this state of contentment, just to find yourself dropping out of it again, because some other topic comes up and needs to be addressed. And what I mean by that is this, through this practice, you will sense, and probably you have sensed it already after the last 4 modules, and hopefully you've done the practice and everything, that once you've dropped into this state of fulfillment, that everything you need is right here and right now, and right here, right there. And then you're pulled out of this state again because something else needs to be addressed. And it's meant to be this way. As we shall see later on in this module, this state is not meant to be kept up all the time, because when something pulls you out of this state, this needs to be addressed in the same way as when your body is digesting and there is some trigger that triggers you to really run for your life. You don't think twice, you just follow that. But when it comes to like emotions and thoughts, we are kind of resistant to that because the fulfillment feels so good. But the things that pull us out of fulfillment need to be addressed. So it's not a bad thing to drop out of this state again. This is basically what I wanted to say last. So with this being said, see you in the next video.